Hello guys, this is Krevin here, and I wanted to bring you this multiplayer battle which I recorded the other day with me using a randomly generated greenskin army. So let's take a look around the battlefield. I'm just going to start things off real quick because there's a little bit of pansy footing around before the action actually starts. So here we're going to see that he's got some gyrocopters right here, and these aren't with the brimstone guns. These are just the regular steam guns right here. And they're going to move in on this hammer of Gork, which I was assigned here. I'm going to get that hammer of Gork firing into the main dwarf line over there. Actually, you know what? Let's pause it real quick and go over army comps before we get into all that. So down here, he brought a lot of dwarf warriors. I believe it's 5 units. He's got dwarf warriors all through here. Then he's got some miners with blasting charges over here, and then another miner with blasting charges on the other flank. He has 3 quarrelers here. He has Ungrim, my bad. Ungrim Iron Fist as his legendary lord, a unit of Iron Drakes, and then a runesmith here who's going to be supporting his troops. In the back, he's got some great longbeards with great weapons, and then he has a grudge thrower. In addition to the gyrocopters you're going to see over here. Now we can kind of look at mine as the battle starts playing. I was assigned some interesting units, lots of different cav. I have some Force Goblin, Spider Rider Archers. One of these is legendary. This one right here. Morgrub's Mangy Marauders. Another Wolf Archer. These aren't units I typically bring to a greenskin match, so I wasn't sure quite how to use them. I knew I needed to skirmish and hang back a little bit, use my missile advantage here, if you can call it that. It's kind of hard to have a missile advantage with a bunch of goblins. But over here I have 4 Night Goblin Archer units. One is a Fanatics. I didn't get too much of an opportunity to look at my army, and I did not realize that this was a Fanatics unit, so I don't actually use the Fanatics in this unit, which is a little bit of a waste. You're going to see a couple of mistakes that I made, a couple of mistakes that my opponent made here. Then there's the Rusty Arrows. These guys are pretty good. They have armor deteriorating missiles, if you will, so the more they shoot at them, the less the armor value goes down on their the more the armor value goes down on the enemy they're shooting against. So the grudge throwers are going to open up here. The only melee units I got were this goblin, a spear goblin unit, and some big guns right here with a lot of chevrons. You can see that. Over here and back I have one of these nasty skulkers with a lot of chevrons on it again. Then we have the giant, of course. We have a goblin big boss. I believe he's riding a wolf. Yep, on top of a wolf. And then we have some troll units, and then my orc war boss, just the standard war boss there. I also have for cavalry this chariot unit off here on the flank. Again, not a unit I ever really play with, so I didn't know how to use them, basically. I've never really used them in any of my builds, either in the campaign or in the multiplayer here. I'm basically just gonna let him keep hitting me over here with the grudge thrower. Keep them busy, make sure that he doesn't advance, because I was worried about him rushing me, because I really didn't think I could win if he started rushing me. Here I've got some orc boys with a lot of chevrons, as you can see. They're going to come down there, and I'm just going to close in. He can't see any of my night goblins or my nasty skulkers over here. So there's just a little bit of pansy footing here in the beginning. I've got my guys spread out. I think he's probably, I think he's a camper, but if he wasn't, he probably wouldn't come out just because of the fact that he knows he cannot see my entire army. I obviously have brought more troops than he can see. All he can see is basically this, and then over here my orc boar boys. He's going to be bringing, yes, they're the quarrelers, and they're actually going to get a round off before I see what's going on there, because I am going to be basically throwing some units. You can see my my goblins on archers, my Morgrum's Mangy Marauders, the wolf archers, and then the spider rider archers over there. And I'm going to move my guys. I'm going to see what's going on and move them back. He's going to keep pounding. I'm surprised, actually, at how little damage his grudge thrower winds up doing. I think he might get this unit down to a little less than half. Maybe I'm just standing at a really weird angle with the hill here, perhaps. They're pretty pumped. Pretty pumped for orcs who are under heavy fire, not hitting back. There we go. My own Fist of Pork is going to be pummeling. Yeah, it looks like this Longbeard's the Great Weapons unit right here. Just going to be waiting. I'm chasing these gyrocopters around the field. He originally started hitting my Fist of Pork, which I think was a really smart move. But then they started routing and he kind of lost track of them. So he's going to be moving them around a little bit. He never really brings them over here until right before I engage. Let's actually speed things up a little bit. Get to the action here. So you just saw he took some shots at my Fist of Gork. There's another smash down here. All these Longbeards with great weapons. See if we get to see another hit from the Fist of Gork. Oh! Over here though, I have revealed my troops. He's going to take a couple more shots at my Orc Boar Boy Biggins. But I am just laying into him with the archers, and I am targeting this unit right here of the Longbeards. Let's actually back out and see kind of what's going on from my perspective. I'm just going to target them. They don't have any shields, so they are definitely going to be the best target for my Goblin archers. He's going to bring forward his miners with the blasting charges, and we'll actually get to see them. And I am also going to charge my Nasty Skulkers. You can see they just got revealed. Here we go. See them get off their charges. There they are. Oh, just a blast amongst them. They didn't manage to get my Nasty Skulkers though. Oh. Let's see this charge right here. Oh, Nasty Skulkers are really good because they have a bonus, or I should say they're armor piercing, so quite good against Orc units. I've positioned my Orc Boar Boy Biggins right here. I probably could have brought them in to take out these Coilers, and it looks like I'm about to do that now. This is where I really start just charging in all my troops. You can see I'm advancing my Orc Boar Chariot around the flank here. I've released the gaseous special ability that the Nasty Skulkers come with, and it looks like he's actually got Ungrim here taking on my Boar Boys. That's not going to be a good engagement for them, and he's going to take them out of the battle, I believe. Trolls waiting in amongst the Dwarf Warriors, and here's my Giant just smashing in, taking out the entire front line, and that unit's going to fall apart. They're already down to half strength. This is something I've noticed, and okay, here comes Iron Drakes. They're going to come around, and oh, there are my Boar Boys disengaging from Ungrim. One of my units has used all their ammunition. Here are my my chariots coming around. They're going to try to smash into the back of these. That Dwarf Warrior unit's already running. The Nasty Skulkers have finished up on the flank. My my archer units were routed by the Coilers, but they are now coming back. And they're just going to smash down here. Now, the Giant's usually not such a great option to bring just because he's usually focused down by units like these Iron Drakes over here. However, the Iron Drakes aren't going to target them. They're actually going to target these Orc Boar Biggins. And this is where I could have brought them up and into combat a little bit sooner and saved them from some of that missile fire, potentially. Oh, there's the Nasty Skulkers. They're starting to waver there. But the Giant's still going strong. He's got something on him. Looks like he's got the Rune of Wrath and Ruin placed on him. There are my chariots smashing through down here. The Quarrelers are starting to open up, bringing in my chariots here. They've run out of ammunition on the Grudge Thrower, but his Grudge Thrower isn't actually, the team isn't brought out into combat in this match. There's my Goblin Big Boss. He's a duelist, so I figured I might as well throw him in against Ungrim. That might be the best engagement for him, just to see what kind of damage I can do against Ungrim and tie him up so he isn't inflicting morale penalties on my units. Although, there he is. He's going to start routing my Boar Boy. I mean, my Goblin Big Boss, what am I saying? Some of my units just piling on, trying to help them out. I could have brought these guys around. I should have done more flanking, but I just didn't. It was so intense in the moment because I've never fought with this army before. I had no idea what was going on. I just was hoping it was going to work out. There are the miners with the blasting charges. We're going to smash through with them with the trolls. There go the wolf riders. War grubs, wolf riders. In for the engagement. Here come the nasty skulkers. And the coilers are going to rout my archers once again. Now definitely what the coilers should have been shooting at, in my opinion, the entire time was this giant. This giant is really what's holding together my line in my mind. He is really maintaining everything. And there's the nasty skulkers popping their ability. A little debuff on the speed of all the enemies right there. Where's my goblin, my orc boss, war boss. There he is. He's kind of in the back, waiting for the back, sending goblins flying with every smashing attack he makes. Oh, and there's Ungrim right there, trying to engage my war boss, I should say. And yep, he's hitting him, but look how low Ungrim Iron Fist's health is. Very, very low. Looks like the trolls are starting to waver. And my giant, all this time, completely untouched. In the back, I've got lots of routing units, but as you can see, they kind of rout and they come back, and they rout and they come back. Although very few of my archers have any ammunition left. He also has some routed units. You can see some of his Longbeards are able to come back into the fight, but he doesn't bring them back, just doesn't see them. It's pretty all-consuming when you're in the moment. There go my biggins, my orc biggins. And it's just my giant left here, smashing away. I'm trying to chase down Ungrim at this point. Ungrim's health is extremely low, and if I can just get that last hit on him, oh, just missed him. And there's my war boss in the middle of that fight, just holding it down. Oh, and there it is, a hit on Ungrim, but Ungrim's still, oh, and Ungrim's down. Ungrim goes down just like that, dead on the field. And you just start seeing the morale penalties start hitting the dwarves, and all the dwarves start running. Here are the coilers doing what they should have been doing from the beginning and quickly dropping my giant's health. As you can see, he's wavering. His health is going to go down to practically nothing. But the trolls have come back. I'm starting to bring back a World War Biggins. I've got my Goblin Big Boss over there in the distance. He, in the meantime, is starting to cast around for his units that might be returning. He's got the Longbeards back here. But I'm going to continue a charge with my trolls. I'm worried about this right over here. But there's going to be this nice charge in the back of the coilers with my Biggins. They're going to start cutting those guys up, and they don't stand a chance against Biggins. And there is my Goblin Big Boss right there. Trolls are going to start wrapping up over here. Now, he does still have his Runesmith. His Runesmith was routing, but he has since come back, and he's going to start rallying the dwarves again for another rush. We can kind of see the dwarves marching towards my trolls here from this vantage point, and there come the Longbeards that remain with their great weapons charging in. And there are the miners with the blasting charges. I start withdrawing my forces somewhat here, trying to gather them together around my Orc War Boss. But my Orc War Boss still has a decent chunk of health, and somehow my giant is still remaining on the field, and he's going to be inflicting terror. So here he is, the giant wades right in. Smash. Smashing around. Now there's a numerical inferiority among my troops here. Here's my war boss, and I just know he's got to push through, and he's got to take out this Runesmith. So they're going to engage in head-on combat. If I was him, I probably would have left my Runesmith back a little bit. But here it is. The killing blow in a second now. There it is. And the Runesmith is routed and dead. His head chopped off and lying upon the field. And that's the victory, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a lot of fun, just going in with a randomly generated army for a faction who I don't usually play as in multiplayer. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.